Hey, what's up everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so I figured I'd do an Apes Rant because I ain't done one in a long time. Or, I don't know, it's probably been about a week or so. Hope everybody's having a fantastic June, beginning of summertime. Everything's going great over here. The reason why I turned on the camera is because, well, obviously, we're still involved in the play, you know. Crypto is in a consolidation phase after tumbling from 63 all the way down to 20,000, well 17,000, and rebounded to 20,000, and it's doing its thing in this, hovering in this space. But yeah, I have my concerns about what it's going to do next, listening to technical analysis experts and looking at the chart myself. It can go either way, judging by everything going with the rate hikes and this and that and the third. I just felt for myself that I would just exit out of my crypto position, go with my gut on this one, keep the money in a holding spot, and just wait for crypto to do something certain. If that means buying back in much lower, her way. If it does turn around and we get those indicators that it's doing great, wait for the lowest dip and just eat the loss that comes with it. But I didn't sell it at a loss. Fortunately enough, what I purchased actually had gained something gained pretty good. I bought a really good dip, so I have every intention of repurchasing when I'm certain the coast is clear. But right now, for myself, yeah, it was time to just play the safe route. That was what I needed to do there. So I got my little, what was it, 70, 80 bucks profit. And they ate that up, of course, in the transaction. So I pretty much broke even on what I invested. So no harm, no foul. If I miss out on some huge rip like Shiba just did, Shiba ripped 50%. And I bought something else that actually ripped about 15%, which is what I collected on. So no complaining. But all of this is relevant to the Apes Rant because, of course, I've talked about crypto, but also because the liquidity issues that we have, I believe, is directly related. And when I say liquidity issues we have, I mean the crypto being bled out is because people are over leveraged and they have liquidity issues because of it. So they're snatching the crypto up. These whales who have done this to themselves are snatching crypto out, and they're putting that money in places that will help them fix that problem. So that's why I believe crypto is being bled out, on top of the other issues that are going on with the financial market as a whole. So yeah, on top of that, you got hedge funds who are going belly up left and right. You got regulations popping up, or talks of regulations rather, for crypto and stock market. You got different things, and then you got this hedge fund manager, or representative to be more exact, coming out saying that he challenges the apes to come get him, or challenges the apes to come at him, or something like that. I'm paraphrasing, but he's calling us out, daring us to harm him or hurt him. I think the word he used was hurt. I don't know. Listen, man, I think they think we're playing around. I think they think we're a bunch of children, or perceive ourselves as a bunch of children who have this tongue-in-cheek way of doing things, basically trolls on the internet. Like, they perceive all of us as comedic trolls who don't want to do anything but cause chaos and laugh about it. No, that would be easier if we were that simple of humans kind, but we're not that simple of a people. We're really not. We're not your keyboard warriors necessarily. No, we're just regular hardworking people who've got no whiff of what it is that you're doing, and we're doing something about it. I am not a troll sitting back laughing, looking at all of this, smiling at the chaos it causes. I'm not happy that gas is $7 a gallon. I'm not happy that chicken could potentially be $100 a year from now because of this nonsense. You think I'm happy about that? I'm not happy about that. But I also know that if we didn't do this, it was going to happen anyway. It was just going to happen in a different way because of what they're doing, which is snatching money out of hardworking people's pockets and shoving it in their own. They need to be stopped. This is an act of God. As I've said many times, I believe in God, and this is His will, I believe. Something like this shouldn't even be possible. People who have this type of money do not ever leave themselves as vulnerable as these folks are right now. It just doesn't happen. Unless it needs to. And it needs to because they've been doing too much for too long, and it's gotten out of hand. It's gotten out of hand to no end, and our country, particularly America, is suffering. But I think the world's economy is going to suffer because of these mistakes as well. Over leveraging themselves, taking advantage of this pandemic, and just doing the wrong things. Just doing the wrong things with the power that they had, you know. So, for those who were calling us out, or whoever that was calling us out, I won't even dignify them with looking up their names to figure out who they actually were. I don't care. Anybody who feels that way, just understand that we're not all just a bunch of teenagers laughing at the chaos this causes. We're not just a bunch of people who don't know any better, just can't wait to see this thing jump a couple dollars so we can sell. Some of us fully understand the magnitude of what it is that's happening here, both as you do what you do and we react to it. And I am praying a great deal that whatever it is that we're doing here doesn't get to a point where it hurts circumstances more so than we're trying to help circumstances, because that's what I'm concerned about. Because I understand that when you do certain things, you know, there's collateral damage. When you do certain things, if you're gonna break something down, you're gonna tear down everything that comes with it, everything that's built on top of it. If the foundation is bad, it doesn't mean that everything built on top of it is. And so that's what I'm most, I guess, in prayer about in regards to myself and how this situation is going. From a spiritual ethics standpoint, it's just like, I understand I contributed to all of the hard stuff that we're going through financially by just holding my shares. And even though that's not my bad, you know what I mean? It's not my bad. It's the guys on the other end's bad, right? Because they're the ones out here cheating the hell out of people. We just figured out what they were doing, etc., as I speak in circles. But I still feel like if I don't do what I do, you know what I mean? If I don't try to stop them, I just let them continue doing what they do, we don't have these short-term problems. But no telling what they're funding, no telling how long this lasts, no telling how many good companies go belly up, how many people get thrusted into tough times and maybe even poverty because of the nature of what it is that they're doing, which is just not done correctly. It's not done correctly. They've abused the power. They've let the situation get completely out of hand, and no one is going to be able to stop them but us, which is why I call this an act of God. That's exactly why I call it an act of God, because there's no other way for them to be stopped but for something like this to be possible, and for people to all participate, even in understanding the thesis. The very nature of us all being able to pull this off didn't seem logical, and yet here we are. Because that's exactly what we were saying when we first started this thing. Or rather, when I first got a whiff of it, that's what people were saying, because it had already been going on for probably almost 8 months when I first got a whiff of it. But the point is, that was what the sentiment was. It's like, yeah, this is the thesis. Roaring Kitty came through with the thesis, but it's a long shot getting everybody to latch on. It's a long shot getting everybody to put their money in on the thing, right? And then keep their money there for an undisclosed amount of time until the thing does whatever it's supposed to do. People are supposed to have not only faith in the process, but faith in themselves, and then stay true to the process by not selling on the, selling high and buying low to reaccumulate more shares. You had to stay disciplined, right? Like the likelihood of people actually doing this was a long shot. Most people didn't believe in human beings' behavior as it pertains to being able to pull this off, but what I understood is desperation. I understood that people have 401ks that they don't plan on touching until they're well past their prime. They'll sit on that waiting for a much smaller return than what's possible here. And I understand that a lot of people don't have a whole lot to lose and they're sick of being cheated. Not just my people who happen to be, have a history of being wronged, but many different people who feel the same way from their point of view, who feel this is a way to kind of fight back, get their pound of flesh. I understood this from the jump, and I knew it's the more people that understood what we were doing, the more people would latch on to it. I knew that. I believed that. And here we are. We were dreaming about some of the stuff that has already been done now. Things that we were laughing about because we didn't actually know we could get it done. We were listening to people spit FUD at us, telling us that this wasn't possible, that it was unlikely, that we were no match. But we stuck to our ground. We spread the word. And I'm telling you, I couldn't be more proud of this community. I couldn't be more proud of these people. I couldn't be more proud of what we've done. And I have not forgotten about all the people all around the world who've been in it as long as I have. Because I remember there were people in Europe who were in this thing the day that I fell in love with it. January 27th, 2021. The day before they took the buy button away. I remember people were talking about, we're going to fight this thing. We're going to fight this thing. We're not going to let them do what it is that they're doing. We're going to take this thesis. We're going to put our money where our mouth is, and we're going to dedicate our lives to this. And as a result of it, we're going to make change, and we're going to be able to take care of our families. That was the plan a year and a half ago. We've seen this thing run up to 70 something. We've seen it run down to $9 and something. And we are here purchasing at every level. The FUD has been thrown at us. They've spent billions of dollars of FUD on us. They've told us that they were going to hire psychology experts to send different psychological tests our way to keep us from being as gung-ho about this thing as possible. None of it shook us off. None of it. They dragged this thing out. They ran the thing up real fast to slowly drag us down. They did it twice. Once throughout the entire summer. Once earlier this year. We're still here. They threw clove at us. Silver at us. Weed stocks at us. Bonds at us. Anything and everything they could pump. They threw it at us. Be big, you name it, they pumped it, they gave it to us, they told us to put our money there, we didn't do it. They pumped coins, they pumped all of it. They told us they were going to flood the stock market, they tell us they're going to crash the crypto market. None of it shook us out of our positions. They raised the gas prices, they went to war, they left war, they did everything they could to shake us off. Yeah, you best believe I think all of that was tied up into this. You best believe I think all of it's tied up into this. Why? Because I know how much money is on the line. I've been saying this all year long. None of this is new for y'all who've been following me. They on the hook for too much money. It definitely has to do with wars. It's that kind of money involved. When you consider how much wars cost, yeah, that's how much money they're on the line for. More even. When people say this is the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of the world, they ain't kidding. That ain't no exaggeration at all. These people have been cheating the funding system itself. You best believe they've been hoarding video game amounts of money. You best believe it. Wouldn't you? You're damn right you would if you were in their position. People working hard every day for their money, and that's what's been understanding to me. People driving themselves crazy, trying to work hard for their money, trying to scheme so they can take this chance, so they can get that small amount of money. I don't think the average person really knows how much money is actually floating around out here. That's the thing. That only way I even found that really out is because I started messing around with the stock market, looking at these companies, and their market cap. You have any idea how much money there is out here? I was listening to Dr. Boyce Rockins talk about Jay-Z and how he was saying Jay-Z need to do things like Elon Musk. Jay-Z needs to be doing things like Jeff Bezos. I'm like, bro, do you know how much money is the difference between those two people? Like, I respect Jay's bag, but that's an entirely different world. That's an entirely different class, man. You cannot tell me that Jay-Z is supposed to be pulling the power moves that Jeff Bezos and the homie that owns Tesla is and SpaceX is doing, man. Elon Musk. You can't tell me. Elon Musk is up hundreds of billions of dollars, man. Do we know what's out here? That's what I'm saying. Do we even know how much money these people walking around with? Ballmer walking around with $120 billion. One human being. Like, you gotta understand, there's levels to this. And so when you understand what's out there, you understand who's hoarding what, you realize those ain't even the biggest whales. They not. They got people in the shadows with more money than them, who've had money for generations on generations on generations on generations on generations. And those are the people whose money is being messed with by these hedge funds, I believe. I don't think those are the hedge funds. No, those are the people the hedge funds have been robbing. That's my theory. Just a theory. But nevertheless, all of that's going to come to an end, I'd imagine. All of that's going to come to an end, I'd imagine. Because the apes are here and we're not going anywhere. We are a collective whale, basically, of investors who live our lives regular, who are hopeful that this does what it's supposed to do, but are certain we're going to hold the people accountable who are doing what they're not supposed to be doing, one way or another. I think about all the apes. Now, mind you, this has been going on for almost 2 years now. There's been a lot of people who started this thing who are not with us anymore. God bless those people's souls. They are not with us anymore. So when we hold our shares, we better be thinking about them. If we have the type of morals and ethics that we pride ourselves in having, I think we should be thinking about those people when this thing starts running up and you start thinking about how much you're going to secure for yourself or what have you. You just remember that there's a cause behind this thing as well. And there are a lot of people who gave their lives with the intent of holding this thing forever. I ain't forgot about a single one of them people. Not one of them. If I heard their story, I know who they are. And I hold for them just like I hold for you. And we're going to get through this financial nonsense, man. We're going to get through this one way or another, whether I benefit greatly from it or not. I've already put in a year and a half. I held the line and will continue to for as long as I'm capable of doing so. I'll spread the word just the same on this channel. I'm not telling anybody to buy anything. I'm not telling anybody to sell anything. In fact, I'm telling you not to cross the picket line if you don't intend on being a part of this thing for real. That's not financial advice. That's a request. An ethical request. Do not get into this just to make yourself rich. Get into this to assure that your children and your children's children and your great-grandchildren are not having money embezzled by these people. That is why you should get into this. That's exactly why you should be motivated to be a part of something like this. Because if you're just doing it just to make a couple bucks, you're not going to help yourself in this situation. Let's put it like this could take a very long time, or it could happen tomorrow. But the point is, it's an indefinite situation. Simple as that. I don't care what the truth is in regards to how long it's going to take. We just don't know. Hindsight is 2020. We just don't know yet. The history books will let us know when this happens, unfortunately. Until then, we just got to wait it out. But for the time being, I just felt like just getting up here and telling you guys, keep going, keep going. Hedge funds are clearly reacting to us. I think they still got a lot of fight left in them. If they didn't, they wouldn't be releasing statements such as these, but you also know that you got to them. As you guys know, I follow a lot of sports, so I know when I'm in my opponent's head. That's the beauty of following the NBA for as long as I have. You know when you're in your opponent's head. You know when you got to him. A hurt dog gon' holla. My name is BDF44. I thank y'all for watching, and I'm out.